So today I finally received my Rocky from Star Ace. Now this figure's been out for a pretty long time, but I didn't get mine until today due to a little mix-up and confusion with the on the part of the retailer. But not really a huge deal. I'm not mad about it or anything. I've ordered from them many times, and this was just kind of a one-off kind of scenario. But yeah, long story short, we thought, and I thought this too, that there was a deluxe version of this Rocky and a 2.0 version of the deluxe Rocky that came with a couple of extra things. And I think that one may have just been a Star Ace exclusive. They were under the impression that there were two different versions of this deluxe Rocky, and they were still waiting on the quote unquote 2.0 to come out. And so that, and I think part of it had to do with the way that Star Ace uh, released this figure in different versions of it. So they were waiting on a figure that was basically never going to come, or that which they already kind of had. But so a little bit of confusion there. But once they realized that, they went ahead and shipped this guy to me, and so no big deal. Uh, but I did want to give my thoughts on it. I'm not going to go through every single accessory or anything like that. This does come with a lot of stuff, but this is how I'm going to display my Rocky. And of course, you can see the Apollo right there that I reviewed a few months ago. And I think these actually display really well together. I mean, Star Ace has really been hit and miss on this line with mostly misses. The Apollo figure is the first one they did that really looked pretty decent. And I think now that these two are together, they look really well. Neither figure is perfect by any means, but together I think they make for an excellent display. So this is how my Rocky display looks overall. So a street clothes version from Slash Stone Shop on that side, and then the steps from the training version, which I have down there, and then these guys over here. And so I think this is a pretty good setup, and this will be it for my Rocky collection. Now, even though this is all that I'm displaying Rocky with, I don't have all his extra stuff with him. The reason why I got this deluxe version is because you can see these shorts are from these are, or they greatly resemble at least the shorts that he wore in Rocky 1. But this is technically a Rocky 2 version of Rocky, so it comes with the black and gold shorts and the robe from Rocky 2 and all that kind of stuff. But the training gear that they included with him had these shorts. Now, these shorts are, again, they do resemble what he wore in Rocky 1. They actually are not the shorts that he wore in the training scene in Rocky 2. The training gear that he wore in Rocky 2, he actually wore black shorts, not these shorts. So that's not even screen accurate for that. So I did pull up that clip on YouTube of the scene where he's training and he's wearing the training gear, and it's and these are not the shorts he's wearing. He was wearing black trunks. And I think that was actually intentional by Star Ace. I think they included these because they knew that some collectors wanted to display this guy as the Rocky 1 Rocky. So even on the box, it says Rocky on one side and Rocky 2 on the other. So I think this was kind of meant to sort of double up and function as a Rocky 1 or a Rocky 2 version, however you wanted to display him, which it only makes sense to display him this way because they gave us the Apollo from Rocky 1. So why would they not give us the Rocky from Rocky 1? Why do they mainly lean in more towards Rocky 2? And most of the accessories that he comes with and most of the clothing that he comes with is Rocky 2 specific. But anyway, they do make it at least possible to have a semi-accurate, well, more than semi, I say mostly accurate version of Rocky from Rocky 1. And then I think if you pull him up here, look a little bit closer. That head sculpt is not bad, especially compared to the atrocity of the Rocky 2 street clothes version that they did or I guess 3 or 4 years ago now. That's actually pretty good. This looks more like Rocky from Rocky 3, though, where he's a lot more slimmed down, a lot more just a lot more tone in his physique. He looks like he's about 20 about 10 to 20 pounds lighter than he actually was in Rocky 1 or 2, where he was less like there was less muscle definition, but he was a little bit on the heavier side. Well, I mean, those are fairly minor nits to pick, but I think those are still things worth pointing out because this is about a $300 set. So I mean, you get a ton of stuff with it, but again, it's all stuff I'm not going to be using, I don't think. But when it's something this expensive and they're advertising it as a Rocky 1/Rocky 2 version of Rocky, I would have liked it if they had the body a little bit bigger, with maybe a little bit less muscular definition. Made him look a little bit more the way that he looked in those films. But anyway, not a huge deal, but worth mentioning. So I think, considering how horribly Star Ace started on this line with that first Rocky, and then Drago had issues, Clubber Lang had issues, none of those figures looked very good. I think both of these, I think that you have two hits in a row, especially when you display them together like this. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I mean, again, neither of them are perfect. I mean, for Rocky, if I were gonna grade it on like an A to F scale, I'd give it a B easily. And then same for Apollo, probably a B or even a B plus. And so these aren't perfect, but they're definitely passable, and I think they look really good on the shelf together. So I don't know if Apollo is available anymore, other than you can try eBay or whatever, but I know Rocky is still in stock at a few places. This deluxe version is still in stock at a few places. And so if you're able to get these two, I mean, again, right now they are the only 6-scale figures on the market of Rocky and Apollo in their boxing gear. So these are really the only options that we have, but thankfully they're not bad ones. In fact, they're pretty good overall and just display great together. So again, if you want to look at all the stuff that this Rocky comes with, I mean, there's other reviews for that, and you can look on the web pages of where this figure is still being sold. So I mean, again, I took all the Rocky 2 stuff off of him. I put the Rocky 1 shorts on it. And as far as the socks, those are actually custom, so I just got those separately off eBay. So all total, it's a pretty accurate version of Rocky from Rocky 1. I had actually tried putting the hatless head sculpt from this Sly Stallone shop version on this just to see how it looked, and well, number one, it doesn't quite fit. I mean, I'm sure if you did enough modifications to it, you could make it fit, but the problem is that because they made this figure so slim compared to how he actually looked in the film, whereas this figure is much more accurate, you have a slightly bigger head with more, puffy facial features. And so putting a head sculpt from this guy on this one, again, the head sculpt that comes with that Sly Stallone shop version that does not have the hat on it, where it's just the hair, it's pretty dead on to the way he looked in the movie, but you try to put that on this figure, it just doesn't look right. I mean, he looks kind of like a bobblehead. Again, because they made this figure so slim. So again, not perfect, but passable. So if you're a Rocky fan, you've been wanting to have a Rocky and Apollo display set up where they're battling each other and going at it, this is pretty much your only option. And so they could be better, but as we've seen previously from Star Ace, they could also be a lot worse. And I think these show a pretty massive improvement overall. So if you're on the fence about these, I hope that helps. Any thoughts you have, leave in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.